Good morning and welcome to practice. We'll begin in a cross-legged position, breathing deeply through the nose, filling up belly, ribs, and chest. With every exhale, empty yourself completely before the next inhale begins. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. We'll take a moment here to set an intention to be open to whatever happens on our mats this morning. Bringing your hands to your thighs with the palms facing upward, we'll continue to breathe like a vessel, filling from bottom to top, belly, ribs, and chest. Dropping the chin to the chest, feel a lengthening in the back of the neck, and just gently rock the head from side to side. Letting the head roll to the right side. Let the right ear drop toward your right shoulder as you take the left fingertips out to the floor. Feel the stretch through the entire left side of your neck. And then roll the head back through center and take it over to the left side. Left ear toward the left shoulder and the right fingertips walking out onto the floor to deepen the stretch. Breathing deeply, belly, ribs, and chest as you roll the head to center and bring your chin parallel to the floor. Roll your shoulders in big circles backward. And then change directions, rolling the shoulders in big circles forward. Inhale, take the arms overhead. Exhale, drop the right hand and extend through the left side body, reaching the left arm up and over alongside the left ear. Stay grounded through the left sitting bone as if you're stretching from the left hip all the way out through the fingertips. If you feel tension in your neck, look down toward the floor and then begin to circle the left arm as far as it will go in all directions, and then change the direction of the circles. Inhale, coming up to center, arms overhead, and exhale, drop the left hand, extending the right arm alongside the ear. Imagine turning your heart toward the sky as you extend through the whole right side body. And then circle the right arm, moving through your full range of motion in the shoulder joint. And change the direction of the circling. Come back up to seated and circle your rib cage. And then change the direction of the circles. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale, round the spine, bringing the arms forward. Inhale, open the arms, look toward the sky. Exhale, round, squeezing the air out. Inhale, open, looking up. Exhale, round the spine, hands together in front. And if you're sitting on a pillow or a blanket, remove it. We'll align the heels so that one heel is at the pubic bone, the other is aligned just in front. If it's uncomfortable, you can also just sit in easy seated pose. From here, walk the hands forward, coming into a forward bend over your folded legs, and wiggle into it, taking a nice deep stretch here, breathing belly, ribs, and chest to expand into the rib cage. Then walk your hands as far to the right as you can reach and breathe deeply into the left side of your ribs as if you're stretching the intercostal muscles. 3 parts to the breath. Walking the hands back through center and over to the left side. Breathe, belly, ribs, and chest. And walk the hands back through center. Bring the hands in, making the spine upright. And inhale, taking the arms out to the sides and overhead. As you exhale, bend the elbows like football goalposts, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades. And continue moving with the breath. And now drop the arms behind your back, interlacing the fingers behind your back. Take a deep breath in as you draw the hands toward the floor, and exhale, fold forward, lifting the hands toward the sky. Take a few breaths here, reaching the hands. And then change the thumb that's on top, changing the rest of the fingers. Reaching the hands toward the sky, release, coming back up to center. And then take a moment just to observe. Watch the sensations as they move through the body. Feel as much as there is to feel here, and allow everything to be as it is. We'll come on to the hands and knees now, placing hands right under the shoulders and the knees directly under the hips. Engage through the core by imagining that your hip bones are isometrically drawing in toward each other, and we'll pull the belly button up and in toward the spine. Holding that engagement, also imagine that the two sitting bones are drawing isometrically toward each other to engage the core. And then release, and we'll move into the cat and cow stretch. So on the inhale, drop the belly, tilt the pelvis, and look toward the sky. And as you exhale, round, pulling the belly up and in to squeeze the air out of the body. We'll alternate between cat and cow pose just a few more times, moving with the breath. Come to neutral, move your hands forward about 2 hand distances, and then begin to circle forward and around, moving through the full range of motion, feeling in the hips. And then change the direction of your circling. And come back to center, moving your knees apart, keeping the big toes together and dropping into a relaxed child's pose. Take a moment here just to observe. Notice everything there is to notice in the body, in the mind, and your breath. We'll come back up onto your hands and knees, extending the left leg back. Flex the foot, pressing strongly into the heel, and then lift the right arm, bringing it up alongside the right ear, fingertips reaching forward. Breathe deeply through the nose, belly, ribs, and chest. Now bend the left knee, taking the right hand, reach back, catching hold of the top of the foot, pressing the toe gently toward the sky. Deep breaths through the nose. Release, coming to all fours. Evenly distribute your weight as you re-engage the core and the pelvic floor. And then when you're ready, we'll extend the right leg back and the left arm forward. And again, even though you're extending, feel the limbs plugging into the shoulder and hip sockets. Breathing deep breaths through the nose. And now reach back with the left hand, catching hold of the foot. Press the toe toward the sky and breathe. Release, coming to all fours. We'll come up into a seated kneeling posture, hands to your thighs. Take a moment just to check in, observing the breath, observing sensation in the body. And then tuck your toes. We'll roll the weight into the toes, just stretching even the pinky toes. Breathing deeply through the nose. And then lift the knees. We'll come up onto the feet, bringing the knees wide apart. Take your heels together, and you can lift one hand or both hands, perhaps bringing the hands together in front of your heart. And release, taking your hands to the floor, come to standing with your feet about hip distance apart, coming into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Shake your head yes, and shake your head no. If it feels appropriate, you can hold opposite elbows. And if you feel tension in the lower back, keep your knees just a little bit bent here. We'll release the hands, widening the stance of the feet and dropping the hips down, coming into a squat. If your toes or your heels are not both touching the mat, that's okay. You can be up on the toes with the heels lifted. And then lift the hips, coming back into standing forward bend. Breathe deeply through the nose and move around a little bit. Feel the posture when you sway the torso back and forth, noticing how it affects the hips and the legs. Release the arms, coming back into the squat one more time. Hands together in front of the heart, the spine nice and straight. And then release. We'll come down onto your knees and lower onto your belly. Take a moment, making a pillow with your hands. Turn your head to one side and relax. And then bring your elbows directly under the shoulders for Sphinx pose. As you're holding Sphinx pose, it looks like there's not much happening here, but to perform the posture correctly, we want to draw the elbows down into the floor and draw them back toward your hips. At the same time, imagine reaching the heart forward, so we're engaging muscles of the back. And now bend your left knee, reaching back with the left hand, draw the heel in towards the left hip or the left buttocks, just as far as it'll go. Be careful not to force anything, stretching the quadriceps. And release. Bend your right knee, take the right hand, just gently pull the heel in toward the hip or buttocks. Deep breathing through the nose. And release. Bring your chin to the floor, bringing your arms back alongside the body with the palms facing up. And take a deep breath in as you lift the arms, the legs, the chest, reaching the hands back toward the heels. Deep breaths through the nose. And release. Make a pillow with your hands, turning your head to one side. Relax. We'll prepare for bow pose, holding onto the tops of the feet or the ankles. Reaching back, take a deep breath in, lifting the head and the chest to look forward. And when you're ready, on another inhale, press the toes toward the sky, lifting the knees, and breathe deeply into the belly. Belly, ribs, and chest, allowing the movement of the breath to gently rock you in the posture. We'll release, coming down and pressing slowly back, coming into child's pose. Notice everything that you're feeling, not only in the body, but any emotions or thoughts that may be present. having an awareness of your breath. And come back up onto the knees, shifting around as you come into a seated posture. We'll bring the soles of the feet together, pulling the heels in towards your body and pressing gently the knees toward the floor. Lengthen the spine. I like to draw my elbows in toward the waist and elongate the spine here as you gently press the knees down. Breathe deeply through the nose, belly, ribs, and chest. Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. And to come out, lift the knees, extending the legs out in front. We'll move the flesh out from the sitting bones. Placing your hands by your hips, elongate the spine for staff pose. Press into the heels. Imagine sending energy down into the backs of the legs. And inhale, taking the arms overhead. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And from here, we'll come back into easy seated pose, or perhaps half lotus, or even full lotus. We're just going to check in, observing, noticing the effects of the practice. Notice the pace at which your thoughts are moving. And then when you're ready, we'll unfold the legs coming onto your back. Make yourself comfortable as we prepare for final relaxation. Holding the knees, rock the knees from side to side. Take the knees in little circles and change the direction of those circles, massaging the back. We'll rock forward and back, rolling across the spine, coming up to seated and back down a few times. And then rest on your back, opening the legs up wide, hold the outer edges of the feet coming into happy baby pose. Gently rock yourself from side to side. You can experiment with straightening one leg and then the other. Again, massage the back. Notice your breath. We'll release, keeping your right leg bent, the right foot on the floor. And now cross the left leg over the right leg, taking the ankle just above the knee. We'll reach through the triangle between the legs with the left hand, taking the right hand around the outside to clasp hands either in front of the right shin or behind. Gently draw the knee in toward you as you press the left knee away, and if you'd like, you can round the spine to make a little more intensity to the stretch. Now remember, you should feel no tension in either of the knees. We want to be feeling this in the outer part of your left hip. We'll release and change sides. Crossing the right leg over, gently pull the left knee in towards you as you press the right knee away. Deep breathing through the nose. Remember the breath. With every exhale, relax into the sensation. And then if you'd like, you can lift the forehead toward the knee for the last few breaths. And slowly release. Extend your legs out in front. And take a moment just to notice how you feel. See if you can notice without any kind of judgment of what you should be feeling. We'll finish our practice with the spinal twist. Bending the left knee, take hold of it with your right hand. Gently pull it across your body to the right with an exhalation. Opening the left arm out to the side, breathe deep into the left side of the chest and ribs. With every exhale, say to yourself silently, relax. We'll release, coming back to center, extend the left leg out. Bend the right knee, take hold of it with the left hand. Inhale deeply through the nose and exhale, take the knee across the body to the left, turning your head to the right. Breathe into the right side of the chest and ribs. Relaxing with every exhale. And slowly bring the right leg back to center. Extend both legs out in front. We'll take any pressure out of the low back by lifting the pubic bone, untucking the pelvis, and resting back down. The feet dropping open. Allow your breathing to return to its natural pace. And with the least amount of effort, allow the muscles to release their grip from the bones, letting the body come to stillness. As you're relaxing, observe any thoughts that may be passing. And then see if you can go beyond thought, dropping underneath the thoughts. Allow yourself to have an experience for which there are no words, an experience of simply being. Bring your attention back to your body. Begin to slowly bring movement to your hands and your feet. Deepen the breath, and as you're ready, on an inhale, take the arms overhead to stretch and yawn if that feels appropriate. And then exhale, knees to chest, rounding the spine. And release. We'll come over onto one side, taking your arm under your head as a pillow. As you're resting here, observe how it feels to be in this body, in this moment. And then slowly make your way, coming up to a seated position. We'll come to easy seated pose. Elongating the spine, deepening the breath, returning to the 3-part breath. Take a moment of gratitude for each breath you receive. Inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. May you have a peaceful and beautiful day. Namaste.